Hey YouTube, Team Snow Rabbit here with a deck profile for Cosmos. I realize I haven't posted in ages. I built a Satellar deck, got kind of disgusted with it, and sold it to Matt. And yeah, that's about it. I'm building Gishkis and built X-Sabers, so that's all that's new. Anyway, this is the deck I intend to take to YCS Atlanta. Let's get into it. We have 3 Kozmo Farm Girl for pilots, 1 Good Witch and 2 Wicked Witch. I was playing triple Wicked Witch, but Good Witch got me out of an F0 against a BA player, and that would have killed me. The ability to just Book of Moon something is not half bad to be able to main deck. 2 Tin Can. He's like average, but I mean, this deck needs a searcher that can get straight from deck without having to do damage, so it's alright. And the 1 Straw Man for if we unfortunately have to go to late game. This did go undefeated at a local box tournament. It does pretty well. On to the Bigjigs, 3 Bank Destroyer, because he's broken. 2 Forerunner. You don't need 3. You just want to go into him when Bank Destroyer dies. Push comes to shove, you'll add him with Tin Can, but you really don't want to have to. 1 Dogfighter. In the simplified game state, this thing annihilates. The amount of tokens it puts on board can be a real problem once both players are out of resources, and it makes the Lure of Darkness more alive. And it gives us something to mulligan if we have to. And 3 Slip Rider. I was doing 2, but considering that the format is dominated by pendulums, 3 seems good. Last of the monsters, 1 Ghost Ogre, evidenced by the Ghost Ogre map. She is the anti-pendulum hand trap in a pendulum format, and lets me have access to synchros, and I can e-tail it. On to the spells. 3 Cosmotown and a Terraforming. This deck needs extreme consistency to keep up with Pepe and just fast, swarmy anything. We need to get to our pieces as soon as we can. That's why the Terraforming's there. 3 E-Telly. 1 of those is Ultra. I hate it too. Yeah, for OTKs and whatnot. Searching Ghost Ogre. 3 Upstart. Playing this has screwed me out of an OTK before, but I mean, the 37 card consistency is well worth it. 3 Reasoning, because the Call of the Haunted Graveyard build is not as good as the Reasoning one. That said, you can Reasoning your Ghost Ogre. It is awful to Reasoning into a hand trap, but risk versus reward. Lure of Darkness. We play enough darks for that to be good. And, you know, if you banish a card, town will bring it right back. Regeki, I wasn't main decking this for a good while, but, I mean, just the ability to clear a board's never bad, and you can force the Infinity Negation. And last, the spells, 2 MST. Such a heavy pendulum format, this card's good enough to main deck again, and I like clearing back row. And pop your own towns, too. Then on to the traps, we're only playing 4. 2 Cosmojo. Like, I mean, it just gives you something to do during the opponent's turn. That's normally what Cosmos lack, so it gives you some interruption. 1 strike and 1 warning. If I had a second strike, I may try to put it in, but that ratio, this ratio has honestly been pretty good to me. Onto the side deck, because the extra deck couldn't matter less. 2 Veiler, 4 against Pendulum decks. Stop that Ignister. Get around Shadow Mist. Just anything rogue gets hurt by that too. 1 Eclipser. If I'm going up against Satellars or Yosenju or anything that can be trap heavy, that's the way to go. 2 Trap Eater. Since the extra deck doesn't matter, that it's just full of synchros and like really utilitarian exceeds that only serve a purpose against certain decks. So this lets us get around Iron Wall and get some access to those cards as well. 1 Honest, because of its use in the mirror match. 2 Wavering Eyes for the Pendulum matchup. Skill Drain, it can kill some decks, and since pilots like banish themselves as cost, you can still summon the ships. 2 Fairy Wind to deal with pendulums. I love this card. I like it more than Wavering Eyes, but I like the 2 and 2. 1 Mask of Restrict. I have another one, and once the Monarchs drop, I'll probably squeeze it in. And 3 Royal Decree. It sucks to deal with a heavy back row deck. It's tedious. this gets over that. Then on to the extra deck. It's in colorful sleeves. I don't have enough black sleeves, and the extra deck, like I said, really doesn't matter. Star Eater, that's the only one I've played it in Yazi, and that's it for synchros I've actually summoned in here. Mistworm, yeah, I know it's Mistworm. Crimson Blader, good in the mirror match because it can prevent them from summoning ships. Thought Ruler because it's a synchro that I had. Zeta because he shouldn't be a generic. Yazi, this is the other one I summoned. With like a Wicked Witch and Ghost Ogre. He can't be targeted in his ability to pop. He's just a really good generic rank, level 7. Black Rose. Hastor. Can't remember why that's even there. On to Exceeds, Ouroboros, because, I mean, it doesn't matter. Rebellion, Beatstick. I have played Rebellion. And the only one that really sees any consecutive play is the Double Castel. Happily Operative. Once again, I can't stress enough how little the extract matters. So you can put things that come in handy when you wouldn't really expect them to. Like against BA and Super Heavy or something. This really comes in handy. The reason I say that is we have a couple of Super Heavy guys at locals. And a couple of BA guys. Like, this card comes in useful just enough to extra deck it. And you don't have to use your extra deck for any like beaters or boss monsters because they're all in the main deck. So you can run stuff like that. Keeping with that theme, Gem-Knight Pearl. He is not an effect monster. He gets around, lose a turn. Double Dweller. Because we have the room to run weird crap, and it gets over BA really easy. And it's good in the mirror match. And lastly, one Levier. I really don't make it much, but this card's actually pretty useful. If I had Infinity, I would put it in, of course, but I was thinking about getting one in the main decking Cybers and Instant Fusion. I don't really need to. And I'd like to get a Volcasaurus to make my like double Slip Riders a little more playable. But for the most part, the deck's essentially done. Anyway, yeah, thanks for watching. Comment, subscribe if you want to see future videos eventually. Thanks, bye.